Morning guys, how are we doing? Welcome to today's video. Now today's video, I want to discuss the hidden costs, the hidden things that are around the corner should you get yourself into a relationship with a Thai lady out here, particularly if you're looking at a long-term relationship. So what I've done is I've created a long list of the things that can catch you out. I'm going to go through them one by one and explain what the catch is and what it could actually end up costing you. And I just really want you to be aware, you know, people come out here, as you know, they say it's the land of smiles. This is where you come here and you fall in love hundreds of times a day. It's very, very easy. The trouble is some of you guys might be sat back there watching this video. Maybe if you've not been into a relationship for quite a while, maybe you've been on your own for a few years and you're tired of being alone. You want to find that wonderful person to spend the rest of your life with. And yes, out here, that person awaits you. However, there are costs and hidden things behind the curtain that you don't know is awaiting you. So I want to go through those one at a time. Now, don't worry, what we're going to do now is we are going to put some overlays over while I'm talking away, so you can just see the recent videos that we made and just keep you away from looking at this. Right, so let's go. Number one, the safety net factor, family support. So basically, when you come out here, the children, especially the daughters, now they're expected to be the financial safety net for their parents. So the boys are left alone really, because let's face it, a lot of the Thai lads, you know, they're very irresponsible, the lack of education for childbearing, all that kind of stuff. And that's going to come back and bite you on the arse later on. Let me explain that bit to you. But the guys normally are left to roam around, do their own thing, whereas the girls, they are expected to take care of their parents. So if you are in a serious relationship, you aren't just dating the lady. You're in many ways entering into what we call a social contract with her family. So it's rarely just a normal flat fee. In other words, you're not going to send simple money. What you end up doing is it's the emergency call out. Oh, darling, my roof's just blown off the building. My buffalo, my sick buffalo, I know we laugh and joke about it, but it is a classic cliche and it is something that's used all the time. My children's school fees. You know, these aren't just people that request from her. They're basically a moral obligation. If you are going to enter into a relationship with a Thai lady, and particularly if you've got children, these are things that are going to be expected of you. Now, when you're dating in Thailand, you know, it is a beautiful experience, but you are coming from a Western background, so you've got different understandings as to what to expect in terms of relationship, what you're used to back home, as to a relationship out here. You know, the financial rules of engagement, you know, they're fundamentally different. It's not about the price of the dinner, it's about a complex social and cultural web. There's a lot of things to go into. So, the monthly allowance, the support culture. In the West, we generally go halves. You know, if you're with a missus, you'll probably go half. You'll pay half the mortgage, you pay half the food bill, and etc. You know, depending on your financial status. But really, we share. A lot of the things we do back home, we share. In Thailand, if a woman leaves a job, so let's just say you meet a lady and she's working, be it in the bar or be it in a supermarket, wherever it is she's working, if you are expecting her to leave that job to be with you, well, then there's a cultural expectation that you provide her with a monthly allowance, Sia Liang. And it's not just pocket money, and you've got to cover a lot of things. So you're looking at covering her rent, her food throughout the month. Crucially, any money that she would have sent home to her parents, you know, they send money home regularly. The Thai hierarchy, gratitude, Katanyu, that's the highest virtue. So it's basically where you're going to send back money to support mum and dad. Remember, the daughters, they are expected to support their family. If she's with a successful man, so if you're doing well in life and you can't send money home, well, she's going to lose face. So if you are in a situation where you are comfortable for money, what I suggest you do, and I did this with Mo, keep your cards close to your chest for as long as you think is needed before you can explain and express where you stand financially in this given world. Now, if you might just budget, so I don't know, argument say 20,000 baht for her, but then you're going to realise you're also indirectly, you're going to be paying for her sister's university, her mother's blood pressure, you are going to be paying for a lot of things. So please, guys, make sure you're totally aware that there are a lot of hidden costs around the corner. And out here, one of the biggest things that you can do to upset a Thai girl that you're with is losing face. It is an absolute voodoo. It's something you cannot do. Face out here is the most expensive commodity in Thailand. As her partner, you are financially going to be in a position to support her and make sure she keeps her value in the community. So in other words, don't say, oh, you know, I've got my new boyfriend, he's a really good guy, blah, blah, blah. And then they say, oh, can you help me out with this? She says, I can't. It makes her look ridiculously stupid. They really don't like that. So please be aware of that, guys. When you visit the village, you know, when you go out with her friends, you will almost always be expected to treat the family. It's going to be your gift. So when you go to a restaurant with all of our friends, etc., normally the bin will come straight to you. It won't be split. It won't be offered to anybody else. It will come straight to you. Obviously, if there's another foreigner there, you're not, you might be lucky to split the bill between you. But if you're on your Jack Jones with her family, these are expenses that you probably don't expect to find, but will be around every corner. So please be aware of that. The upgrade factor. She may feel pressured to dress better, to carry a nicer phone, a newer phone, ride a more modern motorbike, just to show to her family and their friends that she is being well taken care of. They're not demands, but there's the pressure of the social circle they work in here out in Thailand. Number 2, the Farang tax, dual pricing. Unfortunately, it is something that happens out here. However, on the downside, the Thai wage is very minimal. You're talking like 300 to 400 baht a day. So obviously we're earning a lot more. So they do dual price. It is the way it is out here. Whether you like it or hate it, you've got to suck it in. So if you're a Thai lady, when you go as a couple, you'll often find yourself paying the foreigner price at national parks, attractions, sometimes even some of the local markets. So be aware that they might hoist the price up a little bit. In the early days when I was with Mo, if she went out shopping, I'd say, right, you go out shopping on your own. And I'd give her some money. I'd completely trust her. She'd go down the market. She'd buy all the food, come back and give me the change. If I went out, I would sometimes be paying more. And I know it's not nice. I know you don't like it and I don't like it, but it is what it is. It's the way it is. So don't be aware of, don't be offended by that. A lot of ladies that you're with, they might feel embarrassed to ask for a local price when you've got a Westerner stood next to you. They'll ask you, you can have a discount or can I have the same as a Thai price? I have a work permit. So whenever I go to a Thai place, if I show my work permit, I will always get entrance fee at a Thai price. But then I'm living here and I work here, I pay my taxes, etc. So I'm entitled to get that discount. But, for the girls, it's a bit embarrassing for them to have to ask, oh, can I have some discount, please, for my Western boyfriend, husband? It just makes her look like she's losing face. You're a cheap Charlie. One of the things that may catch you out, and I've had this myself, I explained my situation with Fon in the early days, is the informal loan. Now, unfortunately, Thai people are very susceptible to borrowing money. They see it as a quick fix, and there are some very, very dangerous loan sharks out here. So you are possibly, or maybe you won't realize at the time, but you are possibly going to walk into what could be a very dangerous situation and a very expensive situation. A lot of the families here, especially in the rural areas, they're caught in the cycle of high interest debts from village loan sharks. There are some horrific situations. My first girlfriend, Fon, was tied to a tree. She was attacked and I had to go and pay a serious amount of money. Otherwise they were going to stuff her in a bag and she'll be away gone. So, interest can be anything as high as 20% a month. Now, you might not have any idea whatsoever, like I didn't. I had no idea that she was heavily in debt. You might find out months later into the relationship that maybe her family home is at risk because the debt that her father might have taken out or her mother might have taken out, and they will take the asset. And suddenly you'll be booting out, and you ain't going to be asked to leave nicely. You'll find one day a truckload of Thai men come up, and they're not going to be saying, "Oh, would you just like to pack your bags, please, and leave?" They're going to be getting that bag for you, and you're going to be shoving you out the door. You aren't just paying for the holiday. You might find yourself being asked for a loan of 50 to 100,000 baht to clear these debts. In Thailand, a loan to a family member is often culturally understood as a gift, so don't expect to see that money back again. So, for instance, I paid Fon's money. It was a considerable amount of money. It was a six-figure sum, and I never saw a penny of that back again. But I paid for her safety and for her release. So, again, this was a price that, what do? You're sitting there faced with the situation. Well, if I pay, I can save her from what's definitely going to be a nasty situation. And if I don't pay, well, then, you're going to live without conscience. And it's all well and good to sit there, well, it wasn't my problem. She can deal with it. She has to get on with it. Remember, guys, there's feelings involved here. You are in love. So, if there's big feelings involved, then it's not as easy as you might think. So be prepared. Making merit, the Tambun. And there's also festivals. Religion and communities here are big in Thailand. They're very, very big. And throughout the year, there's a lot of opportunities to make merit. Again, now I had this 2 years ago where one of my wife's sister's sons became a monk. He went to ordain to be a monk. So whether it's a monk ordination in the village, maybe it's a funeral for a distant relative, or maybe it's a festival at a local temple, there's an expectation for you to participate and, more importantly, to donate. Now, if you are coming across as a wealthy foreigner, well, then the social pressure for her and you to give a larger than average donation is high for her to save face. So if you're driving around in a really big, nice car, you've got a nice big house, you know, you're eating out all the time, and then there's an opportunity if you donate and you give 1,000 baht, they're going to look on you like you're some big, cheap Charlie. So, and she will look stupid. And the thing is, she won't say anything to you. They won't ever yak you, but they deep down will be absolutely mortified. So remember, the bigger the picture you're painting, the more expectations will be made on you. And also, you know, making merit is seen as investing in good luck, you know, for you two. There's normally a big festival at the home province, and again, you'll be expected to contribute for that one. During the events, you know, the Westerner, the foreigner, is expected to be the primary donor. You are maybe going to be asked to buy a cow for the village. You may be asked to pay for the monks' food. You may be able to sponsor a massive party for the neighborhood. It's not a few hundred baht. It can easily run into tens of thousands of baht. So again, you know, making merit, making sure you look like you're the king dingaling and shit. Remember, she wants to show you off as your, oh, this is my husband, this is my boyfriend, he's really rich, he's going to take care of me, it's everything that I've dreamed of. For you to start cutting back is a big loss of face for her, and she won't like it, just trust me. Festivals, you know, you got Songkran, you got Loi Krathong, you know, making merit is seen as investing in good luck. So again, you know, it's for you guys, it's something they want that makes you two look popular. So you will be expected to put your head in your pocket. Healthcare. Now, this can be absolutely off the radar expensive. You know, a lot of Thai workers, they get very minimal wages. They get a very basic social security, and it often doesn't cover high quality care or major emergencies for the parents. And remember, Thai people are family. In other words, mum and dad are their world. Mo's very similar, you know, mum and dad. I've helped mum and dad out both. Her dad was nearly dying. We thought he was actually going to die. It was very upsetting, very dramatic. Luckily, he pulled through, and we managed to get him back into a normal way of being. But I thought he was going to die. It looked like he was on the bed, and they were all in absolute floods of tears. But I paid to get as best treatment as I could for her father. And luckily, as I say, he turned the corner. But a visit to the hospital, it's not cheap, guys. You know, a sudden hospital visit, particularly if you're up in the Isan, yeah, it can quickly turn into 20,000 to 50,000. You know, it's not something that you can predict. And at the end of the day, what do you do if you're in a situation where he's on the bed and they're saying, well, it's going to cost 80,000 baht to do this? You think, oh, geez, I haven't got that. Are you going to walk away? Are you going to say, I'm sorry, sweet cheeks, but your mum or your dad's got to die because I can't afford to help you? That will absolutely destroy her. Now, there is a 30 baht healthcare scheme for the locals. It's not really worth the time it takes to even explain it. But when she gets ill, or if her parents get seriously ill, they'll go to a private clinic or hospital for better care, but that's at your expense. But because she won't have private health insurance, then you're going to become the insurance. You are going to be the one that has to, you know, come to her and say, right, darling, what do we need to do? I mean, giving it an example, you know, a gallstone surgery or a heart scare for a parent can easily be 100,000 baht, and that will be 0 and just suddenly bang, there you go. Right, he's in hospital, we need to do that. So be aware about healthcare, guys. The lifestyle. You might see signs of the lifestyle creeping into being a Westerner. Now, you might think, what the hell is he on about? But listen to me on this one, guys. When you first meet that Thai woman, she may be quite happily sit on the floor, eating her somtam with a fan on, no dramas whatsoever, quite happy to do that because that is the way Thai people live, that's the way they are, and that's just their life in general. But along come you, and you're here, and you're thinking, oh yeah, let's have the air conditioner on. Oh, good idea, Diane. So now the air conditioner on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So again, that's going to be an expense on your electric. Western food, you know, oh, let's go to the mall today, Diane. Oh, okay, what do you want to know? Well, I'll go and have some steak. Really? Oh, you want to eat steak? And then suddenly that somtam that is, you know, was 30, 40 baht is now 700-800 baht for an average steak. So again, you know, the significant increase in the food cost there is, you know, it's right in front of you guys, and it does happen. Oh, let's get a motorbike taxi. No, let's get a car. I don't like it. You know, so now you're paying more money for a car, for taxis. All these little things, they do gradually add up. They nudge away at you, and it becomes a norm rather than a treat. Oh yeah, I'm going to have my aircon on today. I'm going to eat steak today. I'm going to go see my parents in a grab car. So, you know, these are things that you need to look at because your utility bills, your grocery bills, you know, they're going to be going up through the roof. And again, it's an expense that you're going to have to pay, guys. And you either manage it, or if you can't manage it, you're going to have to face the music and pay it. Long-term visas and legal costs. So visas here for us, UK, Australia, America, they're expensive. They're paperwork heavy and often require a professional consultant. If you are in the need of that, I highly recommend Mark at One Stop Visa Services. He's located at the bottom of Soy 6 on Beach Road area. Go and see him and his team. They're fantastic. They will help you out. If you decide to marry, then you face what we call the dowry, the sinsod. And now this is normally a show money. Okay, so what you're doing there is it's given to the parents. This money is designed to say, hey, look at me. My new husband is wealthy. He's going to take care of my parents. Again, it's that face thing. He's going to take care of me and my parents. So be prepared for that. Now, some families will return the money after. Some of them may keep a portion and return the rest of it. Some may just keep it and take it as a gift, because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it is actually a gift. So be prepared. Now, depending on what you offer will depend on how much the family will welcome you. I know it's awful to say it like this, but this is how it is. And it will also depend on how she is as an individual. So what do I mean by that? So the amount can range from 100,000 baht up to millions. I know people have paid 2 or 3 million. I know people that have paid 100, 150,000. This is a cost that you're expected to put on the table just to showcase. Now, if she's come, and please don't take this the wrong way, if she's come from this kind of working environment here in the city here, it will be considerably less based on her social status than it would be if she was a high-ranking professional working in a bank or whatever, and you wanted to do it. So it would be millions for the banker, and it would be thousands and hundreds of thousands for the girl down here. It's just the way it is, guys. It's not me that's dictating this. It's just how it is. So be prepared. If you do meet a girl outside the entertainment zone here and everything's all hunky-dory, you think, oh, I like this. This is good. Well, be prepared, guys. If she's working in a normal business, then your sinsod, your dowry, is going to be considerably more, as will her living cost day to day. So the last one, now this is one that so many people overlook. They don't give it a second thought until it happens. Now let's imagine you've got yourself a brand new Thai lady, and she's a lovely lady, and she happens to have, say, a daughter or a couple of daughters, whatever, depending on what age you are in life. But let's say your wife's daughter hasn't had a baby yet. And let's say that she's 18, 19, 20, whatever, and suddenly she gets herself pregnant. Now you're in a whole world of doo-doos, because you've got two options. Option one is you will have to take care of the baby, because the father undoubtedly will do a runner, like they do 9 times out of 10, and then they'll leave her holding the baby. So then you're going to have to deal with that, and you're going to have to support her right the way through everything, as if it's your own baby, even though it's your wife's daughter's baby, but you will be expected to help and take care. Alternatively, if you leave her out to dry, then you are going to be in a world of trouble. You are really going to be in a world of trouble. And unfortunately, as I said earlier on, when they were talking about the daughters are expected to take care of their parents, the reason why the lads aren't is because they can't keep themselves together. They get these girls pregnant, they do a runner, they leave the girl facing music, and there you are holding the baby. But here's the real kick in the teeth. Now, let's just say that you aren't prepared to completely fund everything, and that she has to go to work, as in the mother of the baby has to go to work. So your wife's daughter now has to go to work. Well, guess who's going to be the new grandma and granddad, and guess where the baby's going to live? Yep, you've got it. You're going to be the one holding the baby. So you're going to get ready for the nights of screams and all the pamper, changing nappies, all that kind of stuff, and it will put a huge emotional toll. I'm 58. The last thing I want in my house is any baby whatsoever. I'm past all that. I'm done all that. I've done my days of looking after my 3 children myself. I would not entertain that in any shape whatsoever. But if you don't support the daughter of the girl you're with, dude, and you send her back to go to work and she has to support herself, it's different in the UK. My daughter got pregnant at a very early age. She had to face the music, as simple as that. Of course, we helped her where we needed to, but she had to face the music. So the point being is, mum and dad, yes, you and your found love of your life, your wife, you are going to get the baby, and the daughter is going to come down to the village, out of the village, down to places like this, and she's going to earn the money to take care of the baby, unless you pick up the tabs. And that's something a lot of people, they often forget and overlook. So what I suggest you do is, at the very, very early stages, play your cards, keep your cards as close to your chest as possible. Don't give out, oh, I've got this, I've got that. Don't try and show off with money, because all you're doing is lining yourself up later on for a big fall, unless you take care and you carry on where you say you are. So keep your chest closed. Look at the family that she's with. Look at her family. How do they live? How do they exist? You know, go up there a few times and just experience the village life. What are they expecting? When you go there, are they suddenly demanding, now let's go to the restaurant instead of mum and dad making food or the kids making the food? Are they wanting to go off and repair stuff? Has the buffalo died for the 6th time this week? All these things are giving you clear indications to what to expect further on down the road when you're knee deep in love. And it happens. I've seen it happen 100 times. I've been part of it myself, so I know it's true. I know it can work. At the end of the day, guys, just take your time. And when you are taking time, I would sincerely suggest that you give yourself a year to a year and a half of 2 things. Number 1, being with her and learn and see how she is and how she acts, etc. So make sure you get all that tucked in and make sure you know where you are. And secondly, if you've only ever been out here for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or a month at a time, you're in holiday mode. You don't know what it's like to live out here. You've got to come out here for 3 to 6 months minimum, living with her, living in the family environment to understand, is this for you or not? Because the worst thing in the world you want to do is give up all your ties back home, commit to coming out here. When you're out here, you sit down and think, shit, this isn't what I was expecting, and she's changed now. She's spending money like it's confetti. You know, I've got to look at this, because all of a sudden you're in a whole world of turmoil. All right, there we are, guys. I'm sorry it's a bit of a doom and gloom video, but I just want to give you a heads up and give you some ideas as to what to expect before, you know, you fall into the trap. It's very easy to fall in the trap. I've done it myself. So don't feel bad. Don't think, oh God, I'm an idiot. You're not an idiot, guys. You know, we've got a heart and we've got eyes. You see a beautiful woman, you fall in love with her. The rest of it's just a downhill toboggan run. You just got to hope you can hold on long enough. All right, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you have had any of these experiences, please share your experience down below. And guys, if someone is kind enough to share their experience, if you jump on him and say, oh, you're an idiot, you're this, you're that, I will just boot you out of the channel, guys. It's similar. This is about learning, it's about sharing, it's about caring, it's about being a community. It's not about coming on here and taking the piss out of someone because they happen to fall for these tricks I've just mentioned. It happens. I've been an idiot as myself. I've learned from it. I've moved on now. So please, guys, don't start haranguing people just because they share their experiences. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Jump into Discord. Discord's over 23,000 members in it. It's completely free of charge. Great platform, full of lots of information. So it's a way of finding out what's going on right here, right now. Have a look at our mobile app. It's available both on iOS and Android. Download it, guys. It's completely free of charge. It's a huge directory full of all the things that are going on here. You can plot where you want to do, places to visit, etc. So have a look at that, guys, and download the app for me. You'll be pleasantly surprised. And I appreciate your feedback. If there's anything you think on the app, you think, oh, can we change that or can we do that? Guys, please let me know. This is your app. We've built it for you guys to use so you get the best out of your holiday. So if there's any areas to improve it, let me know, guys. Please, straight away, send me an email, 247pattaya@gmail.com. And on the subject of email, if you would like to receive our monthly newsletter, please send me that email, 247pattaya@gmail.com. At the very top, just put newsletter. Don't say, hi, Trev, how you doing, all that stuff. It doesn't get read. Just put newsletter at the very top. And then what we'll do is we'll add you to the monthly newsletter that Bo sends out at the end of every month. It's packed full of information, events, what's happening in the month. It's a really, really good read. She's done a brilliant job on that. It's getting better and better as months go by. So join us on that one. If you want to know about TikTok, I'm focusing on TikTok this year. This year I'm going to really put my head down and start grinding away on TikTok, see what we can do with that. I fancy a challenge. YouTube was great fun. I enjoyed that. Instagram got boring, so I just turned it off. But TikTok, yeah, I think TikTok's going to be the thing. So have a look at that, guys, and give me a like and a follow over there. And let's see where we go with that one. Ying and Bo also helped me. So yeah, between the three of us, we should cover pretty much everything in the city. So have a look at that. And lastly, kick.com/Buzzin Pattaya. If you haven't, please have a look at it, guys. You don't need to watch the live stream when it's live. You can always watch the videos back. They stay on the system for 30 days, so you can replay them back and see what's going on. So if you haven't, have a look at that, guys, and please join us over there. We've got some great stuff lined up this year. 2026 is going to be quite special. So, you know, let's see where we are this time next year. Who knows? All right, thanks very much for watching, guys. And please, as always, wherever you're in the world, stay safe.